Hey, this is Kevin. This is just a very short video of just kind of showing you what I've done lately. A little bit slower. I have some armies to put up on my channel, but this is kind of a little bit of a break. As everybody knows, I kind of take a break once in a while and do something different. This is a project I was doing with my kids and just having fun and looking at different figures that we go online and buy, usually through Etsy, some printed figures, and it's just kind of fun. Each kid gets to pick so many and we get them and then we paint them. That's how I pull them in and how they learn how to paint and how to do things. Well, hi, this is Kevin, and if you've ever watched some of my other videos, every now and then I do some figures that I think are just kind of fun, and this is where I test different paints and try different methods and just generally learn. Certainly with fantasy figures or whatever else you decide to use, you can experiment and use different colors and just kind of learn techniques. I'm always learning, and I have to say I'm not a master painter. Some things I see online are just unbelievable. Some of these painting contests and what people actually are able to achieve is just absolutely amazing. I am definitely not in that category. However, what I try to do is, after every third army that I complete, or two, it just depends on the size of the project, my daughter and her boyfriend and her friends come over and they look inside my box. I had this box of fantasy figures, some 28, some 32, some larger, that I just pick up from time to time. I usually get them on eBay or Etsy, and they're not generally very expensive. Some unique figures, and I let them each pick 10 and I paint them for them. But I get to try things and it's kind of fun. And it's never 10, they end up with 15 or 20 each. It's really pathetic, but anyway, I have fun painting. This one is a beast handler, which I thought was really a lot of fun to paint. Very challenging, but I had fun just doing a diorama. It's a beast handler guy underneath a giant werewolf for protection. He's got his dog, he's got cages filled with little monsters he's caught, and then some sidekick orc that's riding on the back carrying his equipment, and then three chests of creatures. I mean, that is just an awesome model. But anyway, the kids will get that on July 4th. All right, this is the next piece that I did. I think it's a water dragon, and I had a lot of fun. I let the kids also pick out their colors of what they want. When they pick a figure, they kind of tell me a little bit about what they want it to look like. And this one was a water dragon protecting an egg, and they wanted it to be kind of turquoise and mint colors, and I tried to blend that into what I thought a water dragon might look like. But this is a chance I got to use some of the contrast paints, and then I got to use some of my new paints from War Paints Fanatic, and I'll talk about those a little bit later. And of course I got to experiment with Duncan Rhodes Tooth and Coats, just different paints for different things. And yeah, I think the water dragon turned out pretty nice. I like it. Okay, so here's just a few more. This is a girl sitting on a toadstool with I found little pixies and fairies and kind of created a world for her. I did an angel. I did a harpy. I tried to do some different colors. This is a dragonborn with red Lamar armor. This is I guess an elf wizard of some kind, and then of course another dragonborn. As you can see, I experiment a lot with colors and different things, and try various different techniques. I really liked the angel. The harpy was a lot of fun because I tried to experiment using different purples and blues. Even you can see on the back of her wings, just trying different techniques. That was the first time here too that I tried Lamar armor with red, with glosses, etc. So, and it turned out okay. It's kind of fun just to try different methods. And I think the one that I really enjoyed trying to paint was this guy here. That's kind of I guess a druid elf, but what I liked was I decided I was going to do it entirely in greens and just try different techniques and different color combinations. So using my color wheel, right, to try to see what fits and what doesn't fit. And yeah, I just think that practice you get better. One of the things I still struggle with is painting faces. I mean, I do all right, but some of these painters on YouTube and some of my friends, they just do such a good job. I really need to take a lesson from somebody. Okay, here comes the next batch. We'll try to get this as best that we can. As you can see, I just took different figures that they picked out. And I think it's fun because you kind of, as a family, you talk about these different figures, and that's supposed to be a spider woman, that's what she wanted, and they get to pick out their colors and kind of what they want these people to be. And I have fun trying to make them come to life. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a family project. It's just fun. Sometimes my daughter will sit down and we'll paint. My wife helps me paint. And yeah, I think it turns out nice. But anyway, I mean, these are 28mm figures. They're not 15s. I'm still learning how to do 28s. I really have a pretty big respect for those who paint large armies in 28. I mean, they do just such a great job. I've got them all on my saved file on YouTube. I watch them quite a bit, and I just don't know how they do it. But these are, my attempt. And like I said, I wish somebody'd give me a lesson on painting faces. But I think the colors turned out really nice. And yeah, for the kids, they just love these things. Okay, here comes the next batch. As you can see, they picked out a lot more than just 10. These are just really cool figures, right? I mean, these are all plastic, they're printed. Some are from just different companies, and I try to do different basing and try different styles of basing, different colors. As you can see, I mean, some of these are just really, really fantastic little figures, right? And if you're having a D&D, Pathfinder, Shadow, Deep, Frostgrave, any of these types of games, I mean, these things are just great. Like that wizard there, he was fun because I decided to make him a fire wizard, right? And I used toilet paper to make the flames in the bag. I think that turned out cool. But yeah, I mean, they turned out nice. There's just different kinds of figures. I think the hardest part for me is picking colors, or like, what is this person supposed to be? And what's really, I don't know, maybe sad or not sad, is that when you're done painting it, you really want to paint it again because another color combo would have been just so cool. And like that paladin, could have been great in whites or reds, or just different color combination. The dwarf I thought turned out cool, but each one of these figures could be painted again and done differently. So you almost want to have 5 or 6 of them. I'm just saying it's a lot of fun to paint, and I think every painter, whether you're doing historicals, which is 98% of what I do, taking the time to just do something different is therapeutic. It's fun. It gets your creative juices going, and you get to experiment with all of the colors. I mean, just to take a break here, I mean, look at all of these fantastic colors from Duncan Rhodes. Look at that. That is just amazing. And if you come over here to the Fanatic range, look at all those colors. And here, all of the contrast paints and glues. I mean, I use all of these paints, and it's just so much fun. The Warpaint Fanatic range is really nice. The new paints are really great. Duncan has some great paints, and wow, I just love doing that. Anyway, okay, so here's the last one in this round. We got yourself a Fire Phoenix, a Vampire in black Lamar armor, I don't know, a Barbarian with steel fists. You got some rabbits. You got a Khajiit and a monk and another warrior. I experimented with some gold armor, a bard, and well, whatever these things are. As you know, I have no idea what they are, but it's just kind of fun to paint, right? I mean, he was a lot of fun with all the folds and everything else. I think he turned out great. The rabbits look great. They look like Peter Rabbit with the Easter egg costume. The Khajiit turned out really great with the, I just kind of wanted to look a little bit like that was in mythical, fun type fantasy setting. And there's your characters here from behind. Anyway, they're just a lot of fun to paint, and each one has its own style, its own character. You know, they're painted by Kevin, and so my kids will keep them and relish them, and I think they've got a collection of about 500 now, and they urge me to finish more armies so that I can let them get into the grab bag. That's too funny, isn't it?